Hi everyone, welcome to yet another series of the Healing Relationships podcast. I'm Daniel Yo from the Enneagram Connections, and today is episode 8, and the topic we're going to talk about is Enneagram for developmental work. Many people I've spoken to, they are very confused with the various personality tests available in the market. Some of them have taken one or two personality tests, mostly at work, and they shared that they usually don't look at the report. And then maybe next year they will do another different personality test. So the question now is, how can we make the most out of knowing our Enneagram personality for our developmental work? The Enneagram personality system is based on ancient tradition of knowing ourselves and observing ourselves. What does it mean by knowing ourselves? It means that we become more conscious of why certain thinking or certain behavior of ours sometimes keep causing us to repeat the same mistakes again and again in our lives. So knowing the Enneagram is not to look at others and say that, what Enneagram type eats certain thing for breakfast, or certain Enneagram type wear certain kind of clothing, or they like a particular kind of jewelry. Enneagram system is about understanding ourselves and then observe ourselves. What do we mean by that? It means that we observed our unconscious, automatic way of living our lives. Therefore, the Enneagram is a very inward-looking teaching. It trains us to look into ourselves and not outwardly. Changing ourselves is more important than changing others, right? We have the capacity to decide that if I want to change myself, but we can't control whether if others want to change themselves. Enneagram is a very profound system of understanding human beings. We are too complex to be boxed into one personality type or one color of behavior or one quadrant of personalities. It is therefore important that if we are interested in using the Enneagram for our developmental work or in a professional setting, that we take up some kind of formal education, attend a class. That would be a good start. So how about buying an Enneagram book and then read it ourselves and learn ourselves? You can do that. However, nothing beats the experience in a formal class setting where you have different Enneagram personality types present, where we can learn from them and see how each personality type unfolds in a real life situation. So this wisdom of learning from the community is something that you can't get from reading a book on Enneagram. I strongly recommend you to pick up an Enneagram education in person if possible, if you are interested to understand yourself and use the Enneagram for your own developmental work. The other quality of the Enneagram system I can think of is the word compassion. Why is it so? The Enneagram teaches us that we all have the capacity to be awakened from our less developed to our developed version of ourselves. What do you mean by less developed? Less developed means that we over-identify with our own bias and our feelings and how we automatically react to triggers. Here is one example. I remember we had a participant who came for our class. He attended the class with his daughter, and he was very triggered by certain behavior of his daughter. He argued that, why must my daughter behave in this way? So we invited him to share what were his thoughts and what were some of his emotions of his reactivity. And he said that, now I can't change myself because this is me. My personality is like my own skin because I'm very comfortable in that way. And then he blames his daughter for having those behavior. And this is an example that we over-identify with our perception of things, our bias, our feelings, and those unconscious pattern tends to drive us in how we interact with people. Next, the Enneagram is a gradual path for us to work from the less developed version of ourselves to a more developed version of ourselves, which means that learning the Enneagram is one thing, but to practice it, it requires consistent effort and somebody preferably with experience in Enneagram to guide us along the way. Hope that I've given you an overview of some of the qualities of the Enneagram personality profiling system. In summary, the Enneagram provides us with experiential insights that we are not who we think we are. This is our bias, right? And it gently shows us how we can be more aware of our unconscious assumptions, closely held opinions, inclinations, and expectations of ourselves and other people. And lastly, the Enneagram practice. Now here is the word practice. It's not about attending an Enneagram program, although that is a good start and I encourage you to do so. The Enneagram practice can bring up our true reservoir of who we are, our talent, our strengths, and our skills. Now the key question is, do we want to be awakened to our autopilot way of living our lives? And you are the only one that can make that decision. We've come to the end of this episode of our podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. And for those who are curious to find out what we do, visit us at www.seedoflives.com and click on to the Healing Relationships tab when you are on the main page. Looking forward to see you in one of our Enneagram Connections program that we conduct regularly in Malaysia. Until then, may you be well and happy. Bye-bye.